everybody. I need to adjust my settings. Something's. I've been out for a while, so I apologize for. I know I had set up something that allowed for my music to stay up, and then also I'll have to figure it out on the next stream. For now, I'll just have to lower the music. Yeah, so I'm back. I know I've been away for a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but my camera looks a little bit different. I did a little bit of rearrangement of my office / studio. I wanted to have like a better layout, and so yeah, that's what I've been working on for the last few days. I still have a lot of work to do, to say the least, but nonetheless, I thought, you know what, today it's a good day to come back and start my streaming again, as per usual. But I know I'm late. I usually stream like supposed to start about 40 minutes ago, but life happens. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get started. Stop blabbering. So yeah, the last time I was here, we were working on, not that, this one. Let's restore. So we're working on the point task application, and this is, yeah, point task dev. There was some bugs also. I think it looks like Microsoft fixed it, but there was an issue where the bottom, this footer was up here. I don't know if they always change stuff, and then they break things. First I thought it was something that I did, but I finally logged in today, and I noticed that it was messed up. So what we were working on the last time was on the report side. We could get a task summary and print it out, so that if you needed to give a report to your boss or something with the tasks that you completed for a specific date range. I know that I spoke to adding maybe some customization to the dates here. So I think that's what we can work on today. Again, I know that I haven't been working on this app for a few, so it's good to be back. So add KPI to the report. I was trying to think of what I was thinking around that task, but nevertheless, let's go ahead and move that to today. Ooh, what's going on? That was weird. And then report to show. Yeah, this is what I wanted to work on actually today. Have the report start showing your time start fluctuations. Essentially what I want is, in this report view, I want to be able to not only show your daily activity, but also show like a trending scene. Essentially what I want to do is be able to show your trend, what your start of the day is, your end of the day, more specifically the start of the day, I think, because I think that would be beneficial to let you know, hey, you're pretty much starting at the same time every day, or perhaps you're starting a little bit later every day, um, and help you make any adjustments that you want. Again, I think I touched this a little bit the last time I was streaming, is that until you have some kind of visibility to trends or changes, there's kind of a hard way of making changes that way if you're not necessarily aware. So that's one of the things that I wanted to add. Let me close some of the stuff that I had open before. This was the whiteboard around what I wanted to do with the reports. We can close this. We can close this. This was just me looking at templates and what it would be a good idea to look like. Anyway, yeah, so let's go ahead and work on that part of the application. Yeah, so let's oh, by the way, I'm not gonna be streaming on Kick anymore. I'm probably just gonna stick to Twitch and YouTube. I'm sorry if you watch on Kick. I just read some bad stuff about the owners of Kick, so I just rather not get involved there. So I think I'm just gonna drop from Kick, and I'll just be on Twitch and YouTube. If you follow me on Kick, please follow me on Twitch. I'm sorry. If not, I understand. Everybody has their own thresholds for things. Anyway, going back to what I was working on, let's look at the report. So let's clean up our workspace, and let's go back to our reports. So here's our reports, and inside of our reports we have our overview tab. Let's go look at overview tab. Inside our overview tab is where we have our bar chart to show us our data, where we have our tasks, our hours, cycles, and breaks inside of our bar chart. And so here I wanted to see if we could incorporate, what is this? Let me close that. What is this? Close that. We don't need it. All right, yeah, so I wanted to incorporate, let's go to recharts and look at the reports that we could do. So I was thinking of incorporating like a line chart, something like this that shows the start and end dates. I mean, the start time, rather. I think that would be a good idea. Another thing that I was also thinking is also I could work on the recurring tasks, but let me not get carried away. So let's go ahead and get started on this. So here in the reports, and the overview tab, so here in the overview tab, I want to add a line chart right above the bar chart. So let's duplicate this so we can see. In the reports. All right. Okay, so here. So I'm thinking we can either make the bar chart smaller and perhaps like split it in half, similar to how we have the tasks here, like this. So we would have the bar chart on the left, and then on the right we would have our line chart that shows us what we've been working on. Do I really want to do that? Let's give it a shot. Worst thing, we don't like it, we can always revert it. I'm gonna add a line chart above the bar chart. In the overview tab. Should be between the bar chart and the street cards. What is this returning? Yeah, it should be between the cards and the bar chart. And the cards. I need the chart to show start times. For each day. We can do that by looking at we can look at sessions and the initial for each day. We must take into consideration the start and end time shown, as well as work days in the app user hook. And let's go ahead and bring that in. So it's the use app user hook. And we're gonna look at the app user item. And the prompts are the work day start minutes and the end minutes. And the work days. The object of the users we can figure that out here in the overview tab. Maybe not, it's probably in the reports. Yeah, it's in the reports. So here's the end minutes, start minutes, and the work days. So we're gonna give the object and rechart thinking of using the tiny line chart. Because again, it'd be nice just to have like a outline of your start time for each day. I don't think I've been coding. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't usually use I haven't really been using my AI tokens as much, so when I stream I tend to use it, but most of the time I do code a lot of it myself. If it's really complex, if it's something kind of simple like what we're talking about right now, I'll have AI help me with it and then fix any errors that it commits or any errors that it has. Okay. My only concern is the interfaces, but we'll see. I'll check here in a moment. I usually like to centralize on my types, only because that makes any kind of maintenance on the application a little bit easier. We'll see. All right, let's go take a look, and then we'll do the code review after that. So it looks like we have an issue with some imports. Huh. There is no line? That's weird. Line charts. Line charts. So let's change these first of all. Make this more explicit. I guarantee you it has to do with the fact that SharePoint framework is still on React 17. Maybe we can use a different kind of chart instead of line chart. What were the chart options? Area chart, cell, eye, polar angle axis, radial bar. Oh, that's what a radial bar is. Interesting. What about area chart? What is cell? Eye and pie chart, polar angle axis. Radial bar. The only one I can think of that we might be able to use in its spot is an area chart. What makes me uncomfortable is the fact that AI right now is looking into the node modules folder. And it's a big no-no to make changes in the node modules. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So it looks like the line chart is not an option. So start times tooltip. Okay, yeah, so this is not gonna work. I'll probably have to do some research to find out what are my other options as far as charts other than recharts. But I think what I'm going to work on instead is the I think I'm going to work on the recurring tasks. For the recurring tasks, I think what I need to do is we need a way of letting the user know, hey, there's recurring tasks that you work on and some of them apply to today if they are for that day. So I think the way I would do this is we have our Kanban board. That has, let me go ahead and delete this and delete this right here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have our Kanban board. Like what you see here. And then we have our progress bar. Like so. But I think what I think I should do add the recurring tasks. Where can we do that? On today? Essentially what I want to do, I want to have a button, maybe not a circular button, but have a button that has something to this effect inside the button. I know it looks weird, but actually I want a button that has like 2 little arrows. Kind of like this, but not quite. So it looks like we can use a status circle sync. So have that up at the top, and then when you open that, you'll have a form that shows something like this. Yeah. So you can have a task that repeats daily, weekly, or monthly. And obviously the repeated task, we would only put the days that you work, because you have already outlined the days that you work. So for that, So, and then obviously on the task itself, we need to have a way of making it recurring. Like if I have a task that I work on, like, I don't know, just say hypothetically, I'm very, very strict on what I do on all of my tasks. Let's just say I do put on there make coffee. And so when I make coffee, that could be a daily task, right? But then the question becomes, do I need to oh, what happened to my camera? That's weird. I haven't been streaming for a few days and everything's breaking. That's kind of a weird scenario. But anyway, I'll continue without the camera. No big deal. Let me see. Try to restart it. There it goes. All right, so for the recurring tasks, what I was thinking on the recurring task is also added to part of the form. So here on this form, we would add a button that would allow you to make it into a recurring task. And so what would happen is it would create the task name, and then also I think the best way to do this is like when you play Mario Kart. When you play Mario Kart, there is there's an option in Mario Kart where you have a ghost, so you can compare how well you're racing compared to the previous time that you try to do the time run. I think what we could do on that scenario is have a ghost task, and basically what the ghost task would do is it'll show like a transparent version of the task that's supposed to be recurring. So if you have every Wednesday or every Thursday make coffee, for example, if today happens to be a Thursday, you would see kind of like a transparent task for the day. And then if you decide to add it for the day, and obviously this ghost task is going to show up as oh my gosh, this camera, I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm just gonna leave it off. So then you would ultimately decide, okay, I have this recurring task that is that I want to run for today, and you can decide whether you make it active or you leave it inactive. And obviously right now, like you can see here, you have on the task itself, you have a task notes, which opens your notes. You have an edit icon, which allows you to edit the task, and you have a delete button, which allows you to delete a task. So if I go back to the one that I'm currently, let's just say I complete that. move to the next task. Technically, I didn't complete it right. I kind of avoided that one because of the issues with there was issues with the chart type that I was going to use. This one right here, so we can just delete it. Is there a delete issue? Refresh. It's a bug that I need to fix. But technically it's not a bug. Because I'm kind of cheating here. I'm putting this on a separate tab. No, still an error. So it's definitely a bug. Regardless, it's something that has to be fixed, even if somebody cheats and puts a different. What's happening when I click on it? It was this right here. So I click on delete. It gets the item. Wait, it has. What is this? It goes to the sessions. Why is it going into the sessions? That's weird. I think I know what the issue is. I think if we go to duplicate this tab, we go to content and we go to sessions. And inside of sessions, we have a PT tasks column. And we have a cascade delete. So cascade implies that it should delete. If I delete a task, it should delete it should cascade and delete all of the sessions. So if I click delete, I'm getting item 35. Are you sure you want to? Let me go look at this. Unconfirm, handle confirm deletes. Mutate tasks. Okay, so let's go look at the task helper functions. That would be under hooks, tasks, use delete tasks. And use delete tasks uses delete task. Okay, so I see an issue with the task API. Let's go look at the delete, update, delete task. Gets the task by ID and then deletes it. And then this is returning this. Okay, so the first issue is that this should just say and then get rid of this. Log point panel and task list. We also have a neuron side panel. All right, let's try this again. If I go to the completed tasks and I click on delete, let's open network first. This one right here is what I need. I'm still at a loss as to why when I click on delete, it gets the items from sessions. I still have to figure that one out. I don't understand why that's happening. But be that as it may, when I click on delete, it should not be giving me conflict errors. considering that it's not even on here anymore. I don't understand. That's weird. I've never seen a conflict error. I've seen e-tag errors, like if there's an e-tag issue. But for delete, I've never seen that. That's weird. I don't have that. This is bizarre. I don't have any workflows running on this item. What could be the problem? Why would it be having a conflict issue? Because it's getting the sessions, which again, I don't understand why it's doing that, first of all. So, it's supposed to be just doing this. Why is it getting the sessions? Let's let me do a little bit more troubleshooting. Let's go to sources and let's open the task API. And then we go to delete task. Okay, so it never even hits. So there's no issue with the hook. The hook is the issue, not necessarily the API call. Well, I guess it never gets the truth, so that would make sense. 35. Delete. Save conflict. All right, let's try this. Let's close this tab. And let's stop the focus session. And now let's go this way. Same issue. Does it do it on all of them? Let's go with... Yeah, it's literally doing on all of them. Test, are you sure you want to delete task session updated? Oh. So the dialogue is loading the session. Again, irrelevant. So this confirmation dialogue. Task to delete. Task session. Are you sure you want to delete? That is correct. The name of the thing was... Let me try something. So if I go to content, I go to tasks, I have to go soon. My dogs are already barking. What happens when I try to delete it at the table? The list. Report to show start time fluctuation. What? Even on the app? I mean on the list. Could it be something with my permissions? It's inheriting. And I believe I'm a site collection administrator. Oh no, let's go to site settings. I have to go. Dog is whining now. Anyway, I have to go. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm sure there's a valid reason for it, why that's happening. But anyway, I'll catch you all next time. We'll figure it out. Peace.